If you are looking to start a blog this year, here are 5 tips that you should absolutely know before you try and start your blog this year. As somebody who has also only started blogging this year and has already made a couple $1,000s from it, I'm going to give you some tips that will set you up for success right from the beginning. The first tip is your niche selection. When you are picking a niche that you want to blog about, you want to niche down. You don't want to have a blog that covers a multitude of things. You want to have one niche that you can be an expert in. When you are also deciding about picking your niche, you need to pick something that you actually enjoy, because if you don't, you will get burned out and you won't want to do it anymore. And in order to be a successful blogger, you need to stay consistent. That brings us right into the next point, which is quality, consistent content. When you are writing content, you can't just write about what you want to write about. You have to make sure that it's what your audience actually wants to read and that it's helpful. It needs to be high quality. You can't just have some fluff that goes out into the void and expect to do well blogging. SEO is such a big part of it, which I'll get into a little bit later. Writing good quality content that is helpful is the only way that you will be able to succeed with blogging. So speaking of SEO, let's get into a little bit. So my third tip is learning SEO, which is search engine optimization. I'm sure if you have even remotely looked into blogging before this video, you've heard of that term. You probably have a general overview about what SEO requires and what you should be doing. My biggest tip is to invest in one SEO tool so that you can find keywords that you can rank for, especially as a beginner. If you can't rank for anything, nobody's going to be able to find your content. So you need to be able to find low competition, high search keywords. And with SEO, keyword stuffing is also never going to work. You need to find supplemental keywords, LIS words that you can also fit into your blog post that will actually make it rank. My tip for a brand new blogger is to invest in a tool called RankIQ. I will have the link down below, but it is such a helpful tool and it's what made my search results on Google go up so much. In my opinion, you don't need to go right into an Ahrefs or something that's really expensive when you are just starting out. Something like a RankIQ or a Keywords Everywhere, a key search tool, those are where you should absolutely start. The thing about SEO too is you can't get discouraged when it's not working right away. SEO is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You might find that some of your keywords start ranking after a couple days or weeks as soon as Google's able to index it, but for the most part, you are looking for longevity. You're not looking for an instant success. My fourth tip is to start collecting emails right away. Build your email list. You can just have a quick and easy form or use a plugin like Grow. That's what I use to collect emails. And I started building my list right from the beginning. And now after 3 months, my email list is over 3,000. If I had waited until after my first year, then I'd be missing out on views on sessions right now and on building my audience, because part of blogging is building an audience and building trust. And you can start that with an email list. You can just start collecting the emails. You don't need to start worrying about sending out emails yet. Right from the beginning, start collecting emails. And my very last tip, which is actually kind of funny because this is how I started blogging, but it's getting on social media. When you are first starting your blog, pick one social media. Do not try and do them all. You will completely overwhelm yourself and you won't be successful. You're going to get burned out. My preferred social media at the beginning was TikTok because I had already built an audience there. Now, most bloggers are not going to tell you to do TikTok first, and I still probably wouldn't recommend that, but that's where I started. So that's where my background is. What I do think you should do instead is go on Pinterest. Pinterest is sort of a wild card because it's kind of social media, but it's also kind of a search engine, and it requires SEO that we talked about before. So when you are starting your blog, you want to get it up on social media as quickly as possible. I would recommend Pinterest because there's so many more opportunities to grow on Pinterest, and you don't need an audience or followers to be able to utilize Pinterest to get traffic to your blog. At the moment, my TikTok is my main source of traffic, but I'm trying to switch that into Google and into Pinterest. But again, I'm only in my 3rd month and I already have an established audience, so it doesn't make sense for me to not utilize my TikTok audience to promote my blog. I hope those tips were helpful. I'm going to continue to do weekly blogging videos and I want to create more helpful tips. I think in the next couple of months, I'm going to be doing a Pinterest strategy, my TikTok strategy, and my blogging strategy. So be on the lookout for those videos.